robust urban garlic flavor. Donkey Kong Bananza is the big one. That's the one that 100% I'm most excited for. If you were to ask me, what's the big game you want to play next? That's my answer. It's Donkey Kong Bananza is the big one that I want to play as soon as possible. Good piece of content to put out on my Switch 2, which literally collects dusts 6 days out of 7, and then 1 day a week I boot it up and I play Mario Kart, right? So I'll have something else to do on the Switch 2 for a change, which would be a welcome change of pace, just to get a ginormous chunk of it in on release day.
Yeah, our gaming journalist Dave over here was really hyped for Donkey Kong Bananza, but as it turns out, once the support dried up, he started turning on it like every other Nintendo game. Now, Dave really despises Nintendo. I don't know why. I guess he thinks that he's like a super serious gamer and Nintendo is for kids, but why he's playing it, who knows? I've literally watched through 40% of the gameplay of his recent Donkey Kong Bananza stream, and it is torture. It is so terrible. He rarely talks. When he talks, he's either complaining or it's just boring, and he wonders why he had one of his worst performing streams. He says that it was the worst of the year. He's had worse Clear Obscure streams, but it's because he's not engaging with his audience at all, and he's not engaging with the game. He literally expects the game to pull his stream, and he's boring, and he wants to blame the game for being boring, but no, Phil, it's you not making good entertainment out of the game. You think DSPgaming would understand that, but no, he doesn't. So let's get to his daily rap cope session about it.
I've been kind of dreading this was going to happen to for a while. In fact, I'm going to give you a little reminder of what I said when I first started playing this game, if you don't remember, okay?
Phil, you obviously think nobody remembers because you have to repeat the same thing 20 times each stream. And honestly, the way you twist the truth all the time, I'm going to be doubtful that it's going to be the exact same thing that you said.
Then we jumped into Donkey Kong Bananza. I'm going to save my full thoughts on this game for when I review it, when I beat it. But in a nutshell, if you remember, back when I started Donkey Kong Bananza, I said that I had high hopes for the game, being that it was supposed to be made by the same group that had made Super Mario Odyssey. But within 1 to 2 sessions of it, I had said I was very skeptical that it was going to be good, because, man, it felt like it was just more of the same.
And also, he played it back to back, so it didn't hit the goal the second time because his fans were already bored of it. He oversaturated it, and he started down-talking the game. And he's like, hey, if we stop hitting goals, I may have to wage quit this. Which he does with every game, because basically by his stupid arbitrary rules, that would have been it for Donkey Kong Bananza the day it premiered.
But I toughed it out. We did have some good streams of it.
Oh, wow, Phil. Do you want a medal for stuff that people expect you to do? Play video games? Isn't $150 a stream enough?
But this morning was probably one of the worst streams I've done in ages, and here's why. Today, we did the entirety of the elephant stage after you get the elephant transformation ability, which led to a big boss fight that is one of the worst boss fights in history. The frame rate dips to awful double digits, like 15 frames per second. It's so choppy, it's almost impossible to play this boss fight. In addition, the boss fight is so dumb, you don't use the game mechanics you just learned to beat the boss. I'm serious. I don't really want to spoil because I'm going to talk about this a lot during my review, I get the feeling. But man, it was annoying.
Yeah, it was a boss that you had to fight multiple times, so DSP didn't like that, and he had no idea what to do the first time he faced it, so he got wiped out. But this was not, as I said before, the worst supported stream of the year for him. A better title for it would be the biggest disappointment stream, because he knew with all of those Clear Obscure and Blueprint streams that weren't doing well, that they weren't going to get a huge amount of support. With Donkey Kong Bananza, he thought that the hype would keep this up to like $100 regularly. But it doesn't when you happen to be completely boring and terrible at the game. And literally, he's gonna say, oh, Blueprints was a successful playthrough. No, you literally had to guilt your fans into tipping you each and every stream and saying, okay, we won't finish this game unless it hits 150. And for whatever reason, they bought into that. I don't know why though, because I don't remember it being that interesting, you playing it, but you playing any game isn't interesting at all.
Then we went to 2 filler worlds that absolutely had nothing to do with the story whatsoever. One of them was like 5 minutes of fan service. Weird that it was even in the game like that. And it's just disappointing.
Oh, look, now he's whining about extra content being in a game when the industry is trending away from that.
Then we got to the next world, which is the snake world. And we got the snake ability. Guess what the snake ability is? Is it the ability to go crazy with a snake slither that dodges and goes nuts? Can you climb up walls with a slither ability? Can you go through secret passages and halls? No, you double jump.
What, you want it to be like a kangaroo or something? Like, as long as it advances the game and makes the game more interesting through the mechanic, why not?
So this is the fifth and final transformation. Literally, they all suck. The first transformation was good because all you do is punch things and break them. After that, it was like, oh, run really fast over things, but you never use it. Oh, glide, but you only use that a couple times. Oh, suck everything up in the environment, but you could just punch it anyway, so there's no difference. Or double jump, which you already had. So, yeah. The game, I'm sorry at this point, it got so boring today. The audience was disconnected from the game. I was doing my best to try to make it entertaining, but it's boring. I'm sorry, the game is boring.
Dude, I'm meticulously looking through this right now, and you have done absolutely nothing to make the game entertaining. You sit there and whine or stare at the screen. You do absolutely nothing. You put zero effort into it. That is a bold lie. You are so terrible at streaming. Like, you would be playing Mario Odyssey and you'd be just as boring. Let's be real. You're just whining because you're on your stupid soapbox because you didn't hit the tips goal because your fans didn't want to give you money because you're boring. Get over it. Cope.
It's too samey. They don't innovate enough. The game feels nothing like Super Mario Odyssey. And the stream tanked. People left in droves. They didn't stick around to watch. And by the end of the stream, guess how much I got in contributions today? $30.
And for the amount of effort you put in, that was $30 more than you deserve. You should refund it to the people that gave you money because that was an awful stream. For example, you have the gall to waste your audience's time. You know you're playing Donkey Kong, but mid-stream you're like, oh, I gotta set up my Switch. Like, dude, you know you're playing on the Switch too. Set it up before the stream.
$30 for a full daytime stream. I made $30, including the podcast. That's one of the worst streams I've ever done. I think someone made a point tonight. The only stream that I did this year that was worse was there was one stream of Claire Obscure that did $28, but that wasn't a full daytime stream like that. So, yeah, awful. So I'm telling you right now, I now moving forward refuse to play this game as a daytime stream. I'm not going to do a full 3-hour block of it or more. I'm going to do it as night streams only.
Here's the thing, you've literally had to sit there when you stop playing gameplay and you're like, we're $30 away. And then you have your whole beg session where you sit there and wait for the support to come in. There were signs, Phil, that your fans weren't impressed with your playthrough. It's not the game's fault that you suck.
Sorry, but I can't have these streams tanking like that. When I could be doing a major progress in another game people want, I'm not going to be playing this game.
Yeah, here's the thing you don't realize. You made more money doing a just chatting session than you did playing with either of those two games. So maybe it's not the games, Phil. Maybe your audience is actually looking to interact with you. Ever thought about it that way?
So maybe within 2-3 streams we can wrap it up. All right, I hope so. Well, as of this week, I'm done right now with Donkey Kong. I'm giving it a break till next week. I'm literally not playing Donkey Kong again.
And we wish you 2 to 3 more streams of not hitting the goal on it because you're such a whiny baby.
Until next week, and we'll see how it does on, like, late streams. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, the late streams where every game goes to die on DSPgaming because it even has less of a chance to hit the goal.
So tonight on the late stream, hopefully, I was hoping to rally the troops. Okay, can I rally the troops?
Yep, you heard it, nighttime viewer. Because the day stream didn't hit the goal, it is now your responsibility to double the amount of contributions you have to give Phil.
Then we had over an hour of Chill with Phil, where I just hung out with the audience and had a great time relaxing and just doing Q&A. And guess what? Tonight on this stream, we not only hit the goal, we exceeded it. I think at the end of the night, it was like 220-something bucks. So it did help to make up for the fact that, man, that Donkey Kong stream had done so poorly earlier in the day.
Yeah, like I said, they're not looking for you to just sit and stare at the screen. What's crazy about this is you provided a lot more commentary when you weren't a live streamer. Now that you're a live streamer, you just sit there. Because guess what? All the passion has gone away. You hate what you do for a living. But you're like, I need that money, I really do, and I want to get it this way, because I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to be my own boss. Who cares if I have to beg for it constantly? This is what I want to do. And it's really like a pathetic thing to see. Games on his channel have just become filler. He doesn't want to take the leap and do something new, because the stuff that he has experimented with, he's been terrible with. He tried reactions, he was terrible. Like, he's too afraid to do just chatting and Q&A all the time, even though he'd be better off and have more fun doing it, because he thinks that he'll be so terrible within it that 2 weeks later he'll be back to playing games.
Particularly, of course, the people got what they wanted. They wanted me to talk to LTG, so I did.
Yeah, Phil's potty mouth was in full force for that. I don't want to see a Street Fighter match between low tier god, what is his name, Dale, versus Dave Burnell. What I want to see is what Boogie and Wings did, but you know, there will be a real grudge match this time. So Phil, hit Keemstar up and he'll arrange for you to joust with LTG.
And I'll be honest, Donkey Kong, I think, is going to suck near the end here because it's just so boring.
Yeah, it's totally the game's fault. It's definitely not Philip Paul 220 yellow paint Burnell staring angrily at the screen for 2 hours straight. I'm sure the game was to blame why he didn't hit the goal.
Thank you to everyone who tonight flipped it on its head, made a positive out of a negative, had a great conclusion to Ludo, and chilled at me for over an hour. All right?
And he's such a naive fool that he doesn't grasp the deeper meaning of that. He thinks his fans just rallied because he didn't hit the goal, and he thinks it's the game's fault. The reality is, his fans don't want to see him play games. They want to interact with him, but he will never get that.
So what are we doing tomorrow? Remember, this is an extra long streaming week for me. I'm still here another 3 days, okay?
Yeah, he's panicking because he has a marathon scheduled at the end of the week, and he thinks that just because he does, that his fans are withholding their tips because they're saving for said marathon. And he is 5 out of 9 on goals hit per stream this week, so he thinks he's lagging behind because he expects it to be like 8 out of 9.
Please come by, hang out, and please support the Death Stranding 2 stream tomorrow so we can continue the positivity. Now we're at 94 out of 100 goals. If we have a few good streams, we can do DSP tries it, all right? So let's get it going tomorrow on that first stream. I hope you'll come join me for Death Stranding 2 Chill Fun.
Now, I will tell you, he should have done the podcast because he did hit the goal, but he had to wait until the last minute to do it. So Only Ice Coffee was there too, so I'm sure he played a big part in making sure that goal was hit because that's his job. He basically pays Phil's mortgage.
Tomorrow night is GTA 4 with mods on the late stream. Admittedly, I'm a little nervous about this one because sometimes when we played this game, it's done really, really well, and other times it's done really, really bad. Notably, the last time that we played it a couple nights ago, well, what was it, Saturday night? Saturday night. Attendance was low, and support was low, and people were like, disengaged from it. I'm like, but it's a good part of the game.
Isn't it odd? Like, figure if you just clicked on a random streamer and then after their live stream ended, they uploaded another video where they just gave you a business report of how their streams do and then a speculation about the profits that he will make or may not make afterwards on the tomorrow. Like, literally, this is what his content is. This is what he's putting out there, whether he makes money or not on the games that he plays. It's a business meeting. He is a middle manager, and he's telling his fans, show up and pay up. That's his content. It's crazy.
We're making the decision between siding with Dwayne or Playboy X. We're doing these epic combat missions for United Paper. And people didn't seem to care. I'm like, wow, that sucks, because that's exactly what happened with my GTA 4 playthrough 6 years ago. People were stoked to see me play it again, and then when I got halfway through, they stopped caring. And it seems like history is repeating itself, which really sucks because this was an opportunity to do the DLCs for the second time ever. I only had done them once over a decade ago.
Yeah, the game was a shiny new toy, and that shiny toy lost its luster. You have to sweep in and maintain that momentum. Not in about getting support, and about being an entertainer. Because if you were an entertainer and you actually provided good content for your fans to consume, you would be having no problems hitting those goals, and your audience audience would be like 3 times as large, if not even more than that. But you're so dull and boring and dry that there's only a handful of people watching you, and the main people sitting there are clipping you.
But it's just not happening. If people don't show up to these streams and engage in support with them, I can't play the game any longer. We just have to do the base thing and finish it. So let's see how it goes tomorrow night. Hopefully, we get a better audience tomorrow night than we had gotten the last GTA 4 stream.
What he means by better audience is he means people that give him money. And that's really scummy to like just insult the people that come and watch you. Oh, we didn't hit the goal, so it's all your fault. Open up your wallets. Like, this is disgusting. You're not entitled to anything, Phil.
Golden Noble says, I missed the times when you enjoy games on the games and not the performance of contributions. Hey, Golden Nobles, I miss the times when games were actually good. That's what I miss. Because, for example, Claire Obscure, I kept playing till the end, even though the contributions were horrible, because the game was absolutely outstanding. Blueprints, I continued to play 60 hours, despite the fact that I had multiple slow streams of it.
Phil, both of those games came out this year. So what are you being nostalgic for, 2 months ago?
But Donkey Kong is a boring, repetitive, uninspired game that also the audience doesn't want. It's a double whammy. Get it the out of here. That's how it works.
Phil, I don't know if your audience likes Donkey Kong Bananza or not, because the way you play it sucks all the joy out of it. So that what they definitely don't want to see is you playing the game. I'm sure they'd find joy with another player streaming it, because they'd actually be entertaining. And this is the thought I want to leave you all with that people were posting about on Twitter. It's not that DSP hates Nintendo games, it's that he doesn't like open world games. He doesn't have the capability to handle that. He lacks the creativity, he lacks the imagination. He wants to be handheld throughout the entire experience and have yellow paint and tell him where he needs to go and what exactly he needs to do. He can't innovate, he can't change. He wants to be set in his ways and do exactly what he wants. So when the world opens up to him, he freaks out because he doesn't understand what's going on. He wants A to B to C. He doesn't want to go A to C to E to M. That's just too out there for Phil. Now, is that what you think about Phil? Well, let me know in the comments. And guys, I just want to let you know we just hit 3,000 subscribers. Thank you all for enjoying these videos, for continuing to watch, to continuing to like, and continuing to comment. It really keeps me going, especially when I sit through the terrible gameplay that Darkside Phil puts out there. It's really bad. Like he says, people don't give him a fair chance. Like, no, he is really terrible playing games, being a streamer. Like, he should have called it quits years ago. But he's still panhandling his way to the top, so that is Phil.